Buongiorno, I'm Ciao Daniel, and today I'm going to talk about Chianti Classico Riserva. First, let's take a look at the map and see where it comes from. Well, it comes from Tuscany, of course, and this is Tuscany here in the center of Italy, and here is the city of Florence and Siena. So just in this area can Chianti Classico Riserva be made, between Florence and Siena. Chianti Classico Riserva. So Chianti Classico Riserva has to be at least 80% Sangiovese. That's the red grape of Tuscany, also for Brunello and Vino Nobile. And it can be 20% other varieties. The varieties that we have, the wineries, we have 4 Chianti Classico Riservas, and they're all at least 80%, of course they have to be, but some of them go up to 100% Sangiovese. So let's talk about them. Reservas, first of all, have to be aged 2 years in oak, where the Normale Chianti Classico 1 year in oak. So Reservas have another year in oak, but in addition to that, it's not just the oak aging for another year. Wineries particularly make them bigger and fuller bodied than their Normales. And so let's start with, in Chianti Classico, there's an area called Greve in Chianti, and there Castello de Grivis Pisa is located. And they have a Chianti Classico Bibbione, and we have that. And so it's 90 points, Robert, Wine Spectator. So all of these wines are going to be 90 points to 95 points for Nitardi. So they're all going to be excellent wines. They're all going to be a little bit different, though. Bibbione is the one that is 80% Sangiovese, and 95% Sangiovese, 5% Merlot. So they're all up there. 95% Sangiovese, 5% Merlot to give it a little more fruit. 20% of the wine is aged in a French barrique, and 80% in Slavonian oak. What is Slavonian oak? I have to mention this because so many people get it wrong. It's a variety of oak that is grown throughout primarily Eastern Europe. It doesn't mean it's from the country of Slovenia, which some people say. It is a variety of oak called Slavonian. Okay, so, and they tend to be in larger casks. French oak tends to be in 60-gallon barrels, but an excellent one. Also from Castelli del Grivis Pisa is Clement VII. And Clement VII was a pope that spent some time on the property because it's close to Florence, and he's a Florentine. And so 92 points decanter. So Clement VII is 100% Sangiovese. So, but it's an excellent wine also. Now we're going to move to a neighbor of theirs, Castello Viccomaggio, also in Greve in Chianti. And they called their Riserva Agostino Petri, who's in recognition of a person that owned part of that property at one time. And their Riserva is 2017. And it's just, all the Viccomaggio wines are fantastic. And it is 90% Sangiovese, 5% Caniola, another native Tuscan variety, and 5% Cabernet to give it a little more fruit. It's aged 6 months in barrique, a French barrel. And now, Nitardi Chianti Classico Riserva, 2017. Nitardi is 95% Sangiovese, 5% Merlot. It is aged 24 months in tonneau, and those are somewhere around 100-gallon barrels. So they don't want as much oak influence as a barrique, but they want more than the larger cask that some of them are in, the Slovenian oak. So Nitardi only makes its Reservas in good years. If they don't feel it's up to it, then they don't make it. They'll skip over it. So this is 2017 Reserva. Of all of them, it's going to be the more intense. It's had the longest aging. It's rated 95% by Robert Parker. So all of these Chianti Classico Reservas are just great wines, all above 80%. You know, and Nitardi's from Castellina in Chianti, Greve in Chianti, Castellina. So if you look at the video from Leon there regarding Chianti. You'll see the Chianti Classicos, the terroir by the different farms and the different areas vary a lot, and they'll vary somewhat, but they're all going to be somewhat similar. So Chianti Classico Reserva, a great wine. Thanks for listening. I'm Ciao Daniel.